Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the FIFA 20 career mode manager's journey. This is 1920 gaming, and straight away I just want to thank you all for taking time out of your day to be here again. And just after we finished the Norwich game, which is bunched up with a few more games in the last episode, if you haven't seen that, it's up on the channel now. It occurred to me that we've reached the 10 game point in the season, which is the point where we start to look at after the beginning of the season, the transfer windows shut and all that good stuff. Just where the club is in terms of both on and off the pitch. The club's objectives, my own objectives. I look back at how we've been performing on the pitch, the results. As you can see, we've got the league in the background now, and it shows that the results have been really good so far. So in terms of on the pitch, I touched about it a little bit in the Chelsea game in the last episode. But for those of you who've not seen it, I would say that this is the best start to a season that we have had, hands down. For one, we've won all 10 games, but it's not just that. Other than the first game against Derby, where we did get put to the test, we really struggled in that one, but we did come away with the result. The performances from then on have been really good. They've gone up a level, definitely. We've performed with style. We've scored a lot of goals, as you can see. We're not conceding many. Teams that we're playing against, they're not getting too many looks on our goal now. And that's because, as I touched on in the Chelsea game, we're controlling the ball a lot more now. We're playing with more confidence. The maturity is really good. We're not rushing things. We've slowed it down just a little bit in our build-up. We've been a bit more measured, a bit more precise. And at the moment, that's working an absolute treat. So, we're still creating the same amount of chances. We're scoring a lot of goals, as you can see. And I'm really pleased with where things are at the moment on the pitch, and that does lead me nicely to look at the squad hub here. We want to look at the players' morale, how happy they are, and then the stats, all the things that we normally do at this point during the season. As I would normally say, if there's anyone that you do want to look at in more detail, then just be sure to pause the video and you can take a look at the stats in more depth and this, that and the other. Looking at the squad at the moment, everyone does look fairly happy as we just start to scroll down it here. There is players that are upset a little bit about their play time, but that's because, as we would going into a new season and a step up in class, wherever we can use our strongest, we have used our strongest. But everyone looks really happy in general, which is good. That's what we want to see. And stats wise, you'll be able to check out for yourselves here. But there's a few players that I have picked out that have really stood out for me at the moment this season. First one being Hardy. He's been absolute pillar of this career mode. He's excelled in every division that he's played in, but just towards the middle and end part of last season, it felt like he started to tail off a bit, where the players with the higher overalls were now outshining him and things like that. But this season, the start of this season, he's gone away, he's come back, had a brilliant pre-season, and he has definitely returned back to his best. Every time he's started or he's come on, off the bench, he's made an impact. And he's been absolutely brilliant. Lecco at the moment has picked off where he started last season. He has been absolutely deadly in front of goal. He's a bit more of a super sub than I would like him to be at the moment this season because of the club wanting Tremblay to be playing. I would dread to think the amount of goals that we would have scored if he were able to start and play the 90 minutes. But unfortunately at the moment that's not been the case. And this season as well, the guy just above him in the list there, Angel Gomez, He done really well last season, which I did expect him to do because his rating was a lot higher than the players that he's playing against. This season, there's a little bit of a question mark for myself over his head, but he has proved to be absolutely unplayable at times. He's been brilliant. Hardy's pushing him at the moment because of the start he's had, but Gomez has just not been fazed by that at all. He's sharp, agile, he's so fun to use. His passing's been better than it was last season. He has just been out of this world. And the other guy that stood out, which again I thought, can he have a good season as he did last season with the step up in class, is Morgan. And the only word that can describe that guy at the moment is magic. He has gone up against higher quality opponents this season. It's not bothered him. He's still getting his goals. He's still getting his assists. And as a little party piece this season, he started to add set piece goals to his game as well. The guy is just all around special, and hopefully that can continue for us. So as you'll have seen, we've been moving on to the shortlist now. We've got quite a few right backs on there just because of the Clark situation. But really and truly, again, if you want to look at these guys in more depth, it's just a little pause of the video. This is all stuff really for future episodes. I just wanted to show you what we've been up to because we've had the scout reports back. But yeah, again, all that is really for the future. It's for when maybe January. Clark, we're gonna have to move him at some point because his rating's just growing so slowly now. He's obviously coming to the end, like his peak. So yeah, we do need to strengthen there, and maybe Clark becomes back up to whoever comes in. But again, that's all stuff really for the future. And while we're taking a look at players, we might as well take a look in our youth academy as well and see how the players are getting on there. Again, same sort of thing as the shortlist. This is all stuff for future episodes. I just wanted you to know where we were at and who was there in terms of the shortlist and the academy, and how they're actually getting on down there. But there's no real rush to promote any of them just at the moment. We're absolutely fine as we are, and if anything, they'd start to become unhappy because the lack of chances that they'd be getting, like I've touched on already a couple of times this season, why the transfer window was open more than anything, that I'm really happy with the squad and where we are with that at the minute. There's literally only the 1 weak area now, and that is right back, which as you just saw, we're already on the case with that and looking how we can strengthen there. But other than that, I am genuinely happy with the squad and where we are. So there's no reason to make or rush into any changes of any kind at the moment, really. So yeah, that's the shortlist and the youth academy. So next we're going to move on to the objectives. We'll start with our objectives. And that was for me to personally try and improve in the cups, and we're well underway to doing that at the moment. To be hard to beat away from home and win most games at home. Well, we've won every game so far, so we're definitely on course for that. We wanted to stay in the division, which again, we're most definitely on course for that one. And just get a feel for the players who would make it in this division and the ones that won't. Well, at the moment, I would say that all of the players are more than capable in this division. They've proven that every time they've gone out onto the pitch at the moment. Whether it be first team players, fringe players, it doesn't matter. Every single player that's called upon is stepping up. So yeah, I have no qualms there whatsoever with our objectives. So now we'll have a closer look at what the club wants us to do and how well we're doing with those. And the first one is the youth development. We've already done 2 of them, but the long-term one, we're definitely doing alright there. We playing both Tremblay and Brown, as much as we can. The brand exposure one, we're actually over 60% up, which I had no idea that we were anywhere near that. Obviously it's nothing I have any control over personally, so I expected that to be on 0, so actually it's a nice bonus that we're over halfway with that one now. Under there we've got Continental Success, which obviously there's nothing we can do there. And as a low priority, the club wanted us to go for automatic promotion, which we're achieving at the moment, which is well beyond my expectations. And the FA Cup's not started yet, so there's not a fat lot we can do about that one. And then last of all, the financial one. We've got to improve the club by, the worth of the club, by about 100%. And we've got 3 years to do that, and we're already over halfway. So I would say, as a summary in terms of the club, we're 1.5 years in front financially of where the club wanted us to be. So we're doing a very, very good job there. So that's all the objective looked at. And what we'll look at now is just the financial side of things. And at the moment we're making a £24 million profit pretty much this season. And as you can see, if we go 50-50, we've got nearly 12 million to spend and £300,000 to spend on wages. So for a club our size, the club's finances make for really, really healthy reading. And like I said in the background, the money we can't see. Given that the objective that they've given us, where they wanted us to make the club 100 times what it is now, we're 1.5 years in front of that. So yeah, things are looking really on the up at the moment. Both in terms of on and off the pitch. So thanks again for watching, and if you did like this episode, please hit that like and subscribe, and I will see you all soon for the next one, guys. Thanks for watching again. Bye bye.